going on, guys? Welcome back to Tales from the Barrens. I'm Dustin.
I'm Anna.
And I'm also Dustin.
Anna?
The fuck was that cat?
I'm Anna.
I'm Anna.
That's what you did! Fucking cat! Oh, man, but we are here for Tales from the Barrens number 12. Pretty
That's
fucking...
insane.
There.
Oh, yeah. All of them. No, it's...
You did
trucking,
21 for
dude,
me.
and I am... I did?
There you go. That's better.
Perfect. We're trucking along with these, and we have 3 really good ones for you guys tonight. But this is a disclaimer now. If you want to go watch these short films, they're all on YouTube, okay? Go watch them. Come back and check out what we think. Because we walk through these shorts as we're talking about them. And while we're walking through them, we take them to the scare scale.
The scare scale.
The scare scale is for story, creature, atmosphere, runtime, and effects. We judge it from a 0 to 1 for each letter, which gives us a something out of 5 for the end of the short. Okay? So we are going to kick it off tonight with the short that Little D brought to the table. And Little D, the floor is yours.
I brought a little short called Closing Time. This came out, I think, a year ago. It's a pretty fresh one. And I was just kind of stumbling across. I was like, I don't know what I want. And I just searched. I was like, let's do a slasher. All right, I'm like, whatever comes up, comes up. So I was like, oh, this one looks cool. Closing Time. I like the vibe. So we're following a girl who seems to have a very important message to tell her boyfriend. We see that she's pregnant because she holds up a pregnancy test. And they're going to potentially meet at this diner. In the diner, I love the setting. I love old, like, 1950s to, like, 1970s style diners. They got that music playing. Like, the booths look great. And that's another reason why I wanted to go and show this one. Because I was like, I love this aesthetic. It's great. So she goes to this diner. And she's there. Literally... gets approached by the waitress there and says, oh, you're welcome to stay, but just let you know we're going to be closing in about 10 minutes. So she's like, oh, okay, I'm just waiting on somebody. She's trying to call her boyfriend. No answers. Texts, no answers. She goes to the bathroom, does the same thing. It's kind of like, what's going on? They're about to close. Why aren't you here? So we're getting a little bit of tension here about her, mainly because the time's running down, right, for her to be at this place, and she's waiting for her significant other to show up to give the good news or bad news, I guess, depending on how he feels about it, right? Yeah. So she goes back, she sits down, she gets approached again, but then she also says, because when she's in there, there's a guy who's sitting a little ways away. He's got a hood on. I mean, anybody, like, if you're at a diner or wherever it may be, and it's about to close, and you're like the only one there, and you see someone sitting not that far from you who's got a hood on, it's kind of giving you some iffy vibes, right? I mean, I'd be like, what's going on here? So she asks and says, so what's the deal with that person over there? Are they leaving anytime soon? Do you know them? And the waitress just goes, no, but every time I walk by, he kind of gives me a look, but he's not saying anything to me. And I don't know if I should call the cops or whatever. So our girl says, I'll do it. I'll go over there and
I got you, fam.
You don't know this girl.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm gonna do something that you should probably do because it's technically your job. But I'm gonna go over there. I'll approach and just let him know. So she goes over and goes, hi, is everything okay? And she touches his shoulder and he just falls. As he falls, we get the reveal that it's dun dun dun. Her boyfriend. And she's like, oh my god, are you okay? Like shaking him. The guy's he's been sitting there. He's literally all bloody. No response. So she starts freaking out. And she's like, oh crap. Instead of dialing her phone. She goes and runs to the door. Lights shut out. Door is locked, which logic is like if you're on the inside of this building, wouldn't you just be able to lock it and then leave?
Not necessarily unless it's like a key set up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
True.
Or if you want to hear us talk a little bit more about that, go check out Give Me Back My Actions episode of Behind the Mask when we talk about locked from the inside shit.
True. That is true. So
Coming up
she's
next
trying
week.
to open it, and then she looks behind her, and it's the waitress holding a knife, and then it cuts. Oh, man. I don't know if I picked a good one or if I picked the middle of the road one, because I'm still kind of iffy. So let's walk through our scare scale. We're going to go with story. I thought the story here, it's not original, but I feel like it was executed well enough. I wanted more from it, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a 0.75. I think there was some things there we could have definitely gone a little bit more of. I mean, this short was only like 7 minutes and 48 seconds or something like that. It's very, very short.
I actually forgot to write the times down.
Yours is the longest of tonight's.
It is. It is. I'm pretty sure it's a little over 7 minutes. Creature. It's not really a creature in this one, so I'm gonna have to go and give that 0, unless you wanna somehow say the waitress is the creature. You don't want to get like 2 seconds of her being an actual quote unquote serial killer here. So that's gonna get a 0. But for atmosphere, I dug the vibes. I love the setting that they're in. I feel like there was some pretty good tension there for certain parts. It kind of lost me at the end, though, when she gets the reveal and then she runs, and then we get the reveal, the big reveal of who it is. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 0.75 as well. And then we're going to go over to runtime, which it's below 10 minutes, below 15 minutes. It's great. It's going to get a 1. I feel like they used their time pretty wisely here and executed what they needed to execute and got the hell out. And for the effects, this is another one. There's not really a lot of effects here, unless you want to add in that they have a great setting. I feel like the setting there is really good. There's some sort of makeup that was used for the boyfriend, but that's pretty much all that we get. So I'm going to have to go and give that a 0.25, which leads me with a 2.75 out of 5. I didn't hate the short. I did like it. It was fresh compared to all the other things we've been talking about and showing here. We're just trying to bring some more diverse things into here. So I did enjoy it, but there was definitely things I think that could have been improved. But then again, it's a short. Could be used as a concept. Who knows? Maybe these people want to make something else. But let's move over to Big D. What did you think, dude?
So this is yet another one that I am not new to.
I figured, honestly.
Which is fine, which is fair, because there, like we've talked about before, there were a couple of episodes where they would give me prompts and I would go and search for shorts. But what's funny is I was watching this one earlier and I fell asleep and I woke up to the chair. Short.
Oh no,
Yeah, dude.
So,
that's a creepy one to wake up to.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, no. As for me, the story is going to be a 1. It's a solid story. We get it when it opens up. We hear the radio saying, and as for the new serial killer in the town, there's more dead bodies. So we already know that what's about to come. Mm-hmm. Her waiting for her boyfriend, the interactions between the server, and all that. I like the story. So the story is getting a 1 for me. I'm right there with you with the creature, though. That is getting a fat 0. Mm-hmm. But I will go out and say that inadvertently, this serial killer is not a creature, but she is a monster. For what she didn't know that the woman was pregnant, But it's at the same time, it's like that's a monstrous thing to fucking do. But at the same time, that's not going to change anything for me. Atmosphere, I love these little diners, dude. I love they're like silver bullet camper diners. We see them everywhere. You probably have a ton of them around you guys, between
I do.
small town diners. Mm-hmm. I love them, dude. And they have the fucking red and white checkerboards, and the people there call you sweetie.
The
They call you.
milkshakes. Oh,
Oh, I bet. But that's gonna get a 0.75 for me. Runtime, easily a 1, under 8 minutes. It's a breeze to get through. But this is one, like, Anna's talked about before, that could have benefited from like 2 more minutes. Mm-hmm. Give me a little bit more. Mm-hmm. That'd be great. And effects, whopping 0, dude. There's nothing I liked about the Black Lions. How long was her boyfriend dead for?
I would say maybe like an hour, 2 hours.
Because he was sitting there when she walks into the diner, he's sitting there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and like the interaction of the shorts upwards to 10 to 15 minutes because she makes it clear, and that's how you know from the get go. She goes, "You're welcome to stay here, but we have to close in 10 minutes." I'm like, you want me to get the fuck out of here when it's closing time? You don't want to do the side work around me, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me out of there.
Yeah.
And then after she, kills her, or what we think she does when she kills her, it cuts back on and she's just over there just fucking sweeping like nothing happened.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm giving that a 0, which gives me a 2.75 as well.
All right.
Yeah. Anna.
Yep.
What about you, man?
I had fun with this. I kind of realized a little, like halfway through, I was like, something's up with that dude. I bet he's dead. The story I'm going to give a 1 to because, like Big D said, I actually really enjoyed the story, even though I too feel like it could have added some extra time. But then, I don't know, maybe to add tension. But then again, with the reveal of it being her, I don't really know like what else they could have done right off top.
I'm thinking like a sit-down conversation between the two of them before the reveal. Like she's getting like the inside scoop as to why she's here or whatever.
Okay.
Like she's like a shoulder to cry on, essentially.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like you would want to sympathize with this person, and then you find out that she's a fucking serial killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Creature, I'm going to give a 0.5 to because I am counting her in that. Just because of it being a twist. Like you hear a serial killer and it kind of, you automatically think of a man. I mean, it's just that stereotype. And for it to be this cute little, petite, for lack of better words, blonde girl. Like, nobody's going to expect that. And she's, like, holding... Not only does she have a knife in one hand, but she's got boyfriend's phone in the other because she's calling her now from boyfriend's phone. Mm-hmm. And it kind of felt like that scene in... it's one of those Jasons. Which is it? Jason Goes to Hell, where they're in the diner. Yeah. It reminded me of that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Atmosphere's definitely a 1 because just being alone like that, even in a diner with windows everywhere, it's just creepy. And it sets up, kind of a vibe. And runtime, I'm going to give a 1 to as well. Under 8 minutes. Not bad. And effects, I'm going to give a 0.5 to because I actually did like the look. You could tell he was dead, but they didn't like cover him in blood, and that was okay in this instant, Mm-hmm. And also the set design because of how pretty it was. It was very pristine, and maybe this serial killer has some kind of like OCD thing going on, like Monk.
Yeah,
like Dexter.
Yeah, and she has to keep everything clean, and that's why as the credits are rolling at the end, we get her like overly sweeping up this area. She's making sure like all DNA's up, there's not a hair, nothing. So yeah, I'm giving that a 0.5 too, which gives me a 4 overall.
Oh wow.
All right.
And it's a 3.2 aggregate for all of us.
Wow. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Nice.
1.25. All right, cool. No, it's awesome that you dug it because not for nothing, like there's a reason why I didn't pick it. Like when you guys are giving me prompts because I found better ones at the time. Like I was like,
right.
So that definitely fit the vibe. But all right, so I guess we're gonna head over to me.
Yeah.
And the short film that I brought tonight is called Ignore It. This short is the first short, like I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where I started watching one, and then it just started going one after the other, after the other, after the other, and I added like 8 to my list. And this was the first one that caused that fucking train. So the short opens up. You got this little boy sitting in his room playing his fucking Game Boy. Old school big block Game Boy too. Not even a Game Boy Color. You know what I mean? So I guess that sets the time frame, right? Because yeah, they had a landline. There was a rotary phone on the wall. Okay.
Yep.
The only thing that kind of weirded me out was the fact when his dad walked in, this bedroom door has a 2-foot square glass window. I'm like, that's a little impersonal. You know, like your bedroom's like your space.
Yeah.
So it was a little weird. But his dad walks in and he sits down on the bed and he goes, hey, the kid's name is Justin. He goes, Justin, just letting you know, the woman is back. And the dread that falls on this little kid's face. He's like, well, what do we do then? And the dad's like, well, we're going to do what we usually do. Just ignore her. Ignore her. No acknowledgement. She will eventually go away. And as he's getting up, the kid keeps asking questions. And the dad, you can see like his agitation already starting. Because he's afraid. He's afraid for his family. I get it. But he's like, just fucking do what I say. Ignore her. So they walk out and he goes, dinner's ready. They walk out, and as Justin's closing his door, the door across from him's cracked open, and you just start hearing. He stops and starts to turn to look, and he snaps out of it. He goes, fuck, I can't. Walks downstairs. You see mom sitting at the table, sister sitting at the table. And, you know, dad pushes in Justin, and they're sitting there. They start having a family dinner, asking about school tests. How'd you do tonight? And he goes, the sister's like, well, I think I passed. I'm like, okay, good. That's fucking awesome. Justin speaks up. He goes, Dad, I don't get it. And his dad's like,
Shush.
yeah. Anna, give her the face. That face, yeah. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
The Sam Jackson look.
Yeah, dude. and then you just start hearing it. You start hearing the coming and down the stairs, and their stairs are so fucking wooden. It's awesome. You hear every step. It's fantastic. The little boy asks again. He goes, but what if his dad's like, pass me the fucking salt. It's in arm's reach, dude. You grab it. You know what I mean? But then Justin, I love this scene, or this shot, because he holds up his spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he holds up his spoon and he sees the reflection. And you see a black mass come out of the stairs and take form. And you hear her creeping up. And the fear that these kids are showing, especially the daughter, like the sister, dude, because you see like this the shot of them sitting shoulder to shoulder, and then you just see like a hand come up in between and rest on the daughter's shoulder. This hand it's fucking gnarly. It's good. And it sits there. And this girl is trembling, trying to have a normal ass conversation, right? The phone rings. Phone rings on the wall, and the mom's like, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to answer it. And the dad's like, no, just leave it. Just fucking leave it.
Yeah.
Mom's like, I'm going to do it. She gets up, walks away. Mama bear mode turns on. She's looking at whatever. We don't see it. We just hear it. She goes, leave my fucking family alone. Because when she gets up with the phone, the hand lifts off the daughter's shoulder, and it walks, and it follows. Mm-hmm. And she's like, leave my family alone. Get the fuck away. And you just hear whatever sound it's fucking making, dude. Like, just, it's so good. And then you just hear it. You hear the commotion. And that triggers the dad. Dad stands up. runs over to the door. Door slams in his face. And what we hear is the mom getting strangled. Mm-hmm. There is struggle, then there's the sound, then there's nothing. Dad's over there beating on the door, and as Dad's over there doing that, Justin gets up from the table and runs over there, and they're like, get the fuck back to the table, stay over there. Explosion. He hits the wall. He's dead as fuck. But what happens is we just see a hand come out of the door frame, and she's making her way back out the door, and at that time, the sister runs up and says, hey, ignore her. Do not look at her, nothing. And she's like looking at Justin face to face, but then we see her eye like dart up, and she catches eye contact with this monster. And the reason we know that is because we see the reflection in this little girl's glasses. And Anna, Dustin, this run that this monster does towards these kids, it has to top that clown from Cookie. I think it's because we don't see the actual person, it's like just this black mass. Threw my pen. Cuts to black. And that is the end of the short. I'm going to go straight to the fucking scare scale. For me, that story is a 1 because we learn real quick that this is a reoccurring thing. Like, this is not the first time this woman's visited. It's not going to be the last time this woman's visited. Creature is also getting a 1 because we see her skulking in the shadows, but then we see the hand. What it reminded me of, we talked about it a couple of weeks, last Tales, Lights Out. The movie, because in the movie the monster's like drenched in darkness. You don't see her, you just see like the silhouette of her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Atmosphere, it's just a kitchen table sitting in this house. We don't get too much of a vibe of where we're at other than the fact that they're home, right? So that's going to get a 0.75 for me. Runtime is a 1. It's right above 6 minutes. It's fucking awesome. In and out, we get this really badass horror short shotgun to us. In effects, I'm also going to give a 0.75 because she is drenched in darkness, yes, but we only see like the hand. The hand looks really good. Really good. It's effective because that's essentially the only characteristic we get to see of this monster.
Sure.
So Anna, what does that give me?
I missed Creature.
3. It's a 4.5.
Okay.
That's what this short got from me. I had to do quick math. Math, I hate it. I hate math. Let's head to Anna. Anna, how did you feel about Ignore It?
I really enjoyed it. There's a game that's like this out. I just watched Markiplier play something like this. I don't want to say maybe about a month ago. I think it's called Ignore It. Or pretend it's not there, I believe is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And it's almost set up like a short film because it's a really quick game. And it's about this little boy, and he's like in the alley, and he's being told, like, as the game or something or another, but like just pretend it's not there, pretend it doesn't exist. And it follows him home, and then it winds up in his house with him. So just seeing that not too long ago, I wonder if it's like maybe made by the same people or something. Because it's definitely a creepy for a game, too. Sorry, I heard something in there.
Oh, no. Ignore it.
Ignore it.
It's a good point. So story, I'm going to give a 0.52 just because I feel like, I don't know, this one would have been a good like 20-minute short for me because of how creepy it is. I like the ambiguity, but I also wish that we could have found out why. Like maybe kill the parents in the first half, in the second half we have a lore dump from the kids, and we're with the kids the rest of the time. So I feel like it could have benefited from, being one of those longer shorts. Creature, I am going to give a 1 2 because, like you said, that hand is essentially like all we have of any kind of characteristic of this. Other than like super long black hair, kind of had like the tall man vibes from It Follows. Like he could barely fit through the door.
What it
And
reminded me of, like, have you seen Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
yeah,
That's
the
what I was
old
thinking,
lady,
dude.
the old
That's
lady.
exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The run up at the end, it's like I saw enough to know it was something I wouldn't want running up at me. So yeah, creature haymakers.
She got a flip flop at her.
Haymakers. Okay, atmosphere is definitely a 1 because as soon as the short starts, hey Justin, the woman's back. And just the fear on that kid's face, it's like, wait, what woman? What's going on? Just pretend it's not there. What? Like, I'm not one of those people. I am a ride or die, but I need to know details. Like, where are we going? Who we fucking with? That kind of thing. So, atmosphere is definitely a 1. Runtime is also a 1 just because it is short. The ambiguity works, but on the flip side, I could see it being a longer short and still enjoying it. And effects are a 1 because the sound effects, we knew we didn't see a lick of that mom dying, and we knew exactly what happened, everything that happened. The dad, dude, when that door busted open, I was not expecting that. It kind of caught me off guard and like made me like, huh, a little bit, but then I was like sucked back in. But it was just so comical how big that blast was. I wasn't expecting it, but it didn't take away from anything. So I'm giving effects a 1, which gives me a 4.5.
There we go.
All together.
Yeah.
Will D?
All right. So this one, as much as I did enjoy it, it didn't impact me that much.
Okay.
So story, I'm going to give that a 0.5 because I do feel like there is some stuff that we probably could have maybe seen more of or been told more that would have impacted me a little bit more. The creature, I'm also going to give it a 0.5, mainly because it really is just that hand and shrouded in darkness. Like, as much as the hand's very creepy, I feel like I wanted more. I wanted it to be more creeped out. Like, there is a setting here, right? And this family's obviously been dealing with this for I don't know how long, but I want more. I want to be real creeped out, and this had potential. It really did. Atmosphere, I'm gonna give that a 0.75, because as there is dread on a lot of the kids' faces and even the family, without the tension there. I personally, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling that much tension or dread or even like really scared for this family. I don't know why that is, but I definitely did want some more. Runtime, however.
Did you hear that, Beth? He wants more. Yeah, you better be careful saying that.
But the runtime definitely going to be getting a 1 because it's under 7 minutes. I feel like, yeah, we probably could have used a couple more minutes on it, but for what it is, I feel like they definitely executed what they were trying to do. And for effects, that one I'm going to go and give a 1 just because of the sound design, the setting as well, with them making it a period piece. I feel like they did a lot of things to make that happen and to add things in there. Also, the hand, the father being blown into a wall, and the ending with the running is pretty gnarly. As much as I probably say it seems like I'm kind of shitting on this, I'm not. I don't know, the horror lover in me always wants a little bit more, and it's going to land me with a 3.75. I did enjoy it, but I wanted more.
Which gives us an aggregate of 4.25. Still a pretty high shot.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely wanted more from that too. Because it was, I could watch a whole movie kind of like that.
Anna, imagine if it's a 20-minute short, right? And this shit happens to these kids. And then the second half is them experiencing it all over again with their families.
Hell yeah. I'm in it.
But it's not in one household at that point. They are now 2. And it's the same shit happening between these 2 families. Like, I want to know how they got cursed with this visitor. You know, like
It was a Game Boy.
mean, that's probably what it was. But a lot of people, they talk about like how in-laws are bad, but mine aren't. Mine aren't bad at all. But
Hell yeah.
I feel like it was what it is. But this short was based on a short story called "You're Going to Notice a Woman in Your Home. You Must Ignore Her." So I bet you that game drew inspiration from this short story as well.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. No, man, this short can easily be a movie.
Oh yeah.
But it was so good. But all right, little D, you already went. Anna,
It's my turn.
bring us,
I'll go
bring
again
us
if you
home.
want.
No, I don't want to talk about your short again.
This is actually probably going to be a quick run through because not a lot happens in this, but kind of a lot does that I like. That I thought was interesting, and I had kind of a little light bulb go off, and I was like, this is fun. I just want to talk about this one. And I watched a few. I was like, okay, I'm going to pick my short. Finally, I got in bed last night and I was like, fuck, I didn't pick my short. That's why Big D was like, finally, when I said it in the Discord. So I watched one. I was like, it's okay. And then I watched another one. And then so this was like the fourth one. And I was like, okay. And the reason I picked it is because, once again, back to Markiplier, I love watching him play games. And one of my favorite like comfort watches on YouTube is him playing the mortuary assistant. It is a creepy as fuck game, like legitimately scary game. And he is just my favorite person to watch walk through games. So it's a treat.
What's his name?
Markiplier?
Send me some videos. I want to watch.
You don't know who
You don't know
Markiplier
who
is?
Markiplier is, dude?
Really?
Whoa!
Whoa.
He's like
Was right.
he's like one of the biggest YouTubers.
Yeah, he's
I
still
don't-
like rocking numbers from
That's-
being on there for
And you know-
years.
Do you know what got him like blew him up though?
What blew him up though?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Freddy's. Speaking of, by the way, they just what you were talking about. They just released the teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie, at CinemaCon. And no, because I noticed it. I got a notification from one of my other YouTubers I watch who plays FNAF, and it was like FNAF 2 teaser. Waiting, like he was live streaming on YouTube, and I was like, and then when I went in there on our break, Marley was like, "Mama, look," and I was like, "Don't watch it without me," because it hadn't aired yet. But then I saw it posted. I was like, "Okay, I gotta wait. I can't stop."
So
But yeah,
Paul-
Markiplier
Paul
is a
just
hoot.
Paul just texted me, and I didn't want to stop. But since we're going to talk about it, he just texted me the teaser trailer, and I was going to say, Anna, teaser trailer.
Okay,
but
yeah.
You already knew, so that's all right.
Does Paul like FNAF too?
His kids.
Kids do. I love it. I don't care.
Logan loves it too.
Marley got me into it, and then was too scared to play Security
Foreshadowing.
Breach. Was too scared to play Security Breach. I was like, "Mom, you play it. I want to watch you." And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm scared too." And then I ended up,
Blackie.
and then I ended up staying up till 3 a.m. watching it. Anyways, Markiplier, King of FNAF, and I'll send you some. The Mortuary
Send me
Assistant's
some.
great.
Yeah.
So that's what this kind of gave me vibes from. Also, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which I just watched for the first time not too long ago.
That's such a good
Emil
movie.
Hirsch, I love him. Brian Cox, love him too. So this short is called Kissed. And just by that title, and it's an alter short as well. Even the thumbnail doesn't give anything away, but just
I was surprised.
yeah, I was like, once I saw we get like kind of some old timey music, it's very like pristine and clean. We're in a mortuary, and it's a mortuary assistant who's cleaning up a body, and she is not looking so hot. And I gotta give props to this actress because she looked fucking dead. And like I watched it twice, and I was like watching her again the second time, like looking for any sheet movement, like breathing. She killed it at playing a dead person. And so it's basically like a perverted mortuary assistant who's talking about her like, "Don't come around here often, do you?" Kind of cracking jokes like that at first. And it was kind of cheesy. And it also, like, another reason it made me feel like it was maybe like 50s-ish is because he had like black gelled hair, kind of slicked back, but also the radio they show, it just
Yeah.
felt very like kind of 50s. So he's like just talking to her. It's basically him talking this whole time to this dead girl. And I mean, I'm sure if I worked in a mortuary, I would probably do the same thing. Not to this extent he is, but I would at least talk to them, you know. It's like, if you are going to be a ghost and scare me, we're going to be cool. You know, we're not going to have no problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So by the time we get to like 4 minutes or so, I mean, this girl, I can't imagine her family, if she does have one, wanting to have any kind of open casket, because she is looking rough. Like I said, looking dead, because she drowned. And he comments on that, you know, you're one of the prettiest girls I've had in here, and it's a shame you drowned. You took in all the water and the mud and whatnot. And he's like pushing her hair back. He's putting mascara on her.
He does like the behind the ear thing.
He puts lipstick on her, and I was like, that is not helping, like, at all.
Would you fuck me?
I'd fuck me. So he does this thing where he does the look around, make sure nobody's watching. I was like, this motherfucker. I know
But that
what's about
also
to happen.
That also dates it, because there's no security cameras.
Oh, good point. Very good point. Good notice. So he, sure enough, reaches down, does the hair behind the ear. He had nice hands, by the way. I did notice that. I like hands. That's a weird thing for me. But I was like, oh, he's got nice hands. No dirt under his nails. He keeps his hands very clean for a mortuary assistant. I can respect that. No, I do. I think hands are attractive. That's a fun fact about me. I'm like Jack from Titanic.
All right. Everybody submit your hands for Anna.
That's it. He keeps his hands clean for all of his dirty work.
Yeah, but so then he leans down and kisses her. I think he might have done a little tongue action and we just weren't seeing it, because because when he comes back up, he's got lipstick all over his mouth. I'm like, bro, you weren't doing all that kind of work. So he's like, let's get you cleaned up. And he's, wiping her mouth. Then uses the same napkin to wipe his own mouth. I was like, ugh. So then he takes the lip glue, and he's like, or whatever kind of glue.
Yeah,
and it's like, let's close your lips so you can't kiss and tell, or let's seal you up so you can't kiss and tell, something like that. So he does that. That's like the last thing he had to do. And covers her head up, pushes her back in the little thingy, and closes the door. We get a shot of actually like inside there. After this kiss happens, we hear like a breath come back into her. And we see like a finger move off to the side. And he's cleaning up, kind of, last patient of the night kind of thing. And then the door opens from behind him. And we get like some great like camera work too, like of how it kind of goes from the side. We hear the noise and it's in front of him. And then now we can see the door. But it's so, like, there's no light in there, obviously, so you can't see anything but black. And that's creepy enough. I was like, I know something's going to happen, and I'm going to get jump scared. So he closes the door. Happens again. And this time it, like, rolls out some. Yeah, this time it rolls out some. And he's like, okay. So he goes back, and it kind of jams at first, but then he kind of does a little lift up and slides it back in. And, I think he closes the door again, or maybe he kneels down and he's kind of looking, and then he's like, I don't know, whatever. And he's going to close the door. That's when her hand comes up, and she's like full zombie girl, living dead girl, if you will. And he's freaked out, like on the floor, scurrying, just being a total pussy. And she stands up. We don't get any tids or anything, but the sheet falls, and she's, kind of like you just said, like from Buffalo Bill, like, I'd fuck me. Because he's just like blown her head up, and been like, you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen. I get a lot of patients in here, and you're the, you're just it. And then went as far as to kiss her, which I took this as like, he matched her freak, and he was her Prince Charming. Kissing the Sleeping Beauty and waking her up.
True love's kiss, yeah.
That's what, like, that was the determining factor that made me be like, I'm picking this one, because I liked that little aspect. Because the towel drops, we see her like zombie walking over, and she's like, you think I'm pretty? When her mouth opens, she's spilling out this like brown muddy water that he alluded to earlier that's still in her lungs more than likely. And she's like, I think you are too, or something like that. She's just talking right back at him. Now it's time to give you a kiss. And she gets down at him in the corner. She starts kissing him, and that same stuff's coming out, and then we get a title card. Kissed. That same old timey music starts playing. I like that too.
Is there okie dokie?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It gave me that kind of vibe too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to the scare scale, this one was short this week, 6 minutes 42 seconds. I had a blast with this, like I said, because the light bulb went off. I was like, this is like a fucked up Disney princess story. So story is definitely a one. Like, I would like to know. I could see this being a movie too, but then they've also kind of, you think the autopsy of Jane Doe. But I wanted more with that too. Anyways, I would have liked to have known, like, did she commit suicide? Was this an accident? Maybe she did commit suicide, and that's why like, they have that like tragic love kind of thing, like weird, creepy love kind of stuff. So I would like to know like how she met her demise, but like just for this being a little under 7 minutes, I feel like it was enough to like we got the point. I really enjoyed it. Creature is definitely a one. Like I said, like I watched her. Like, she was dead. D-E-D, dead. Like, I love zombies anyways. They're my favorite creature. She had that zombie look going on. Her skin looked good. Her hair looked matted. Her eyes had, like the blue around it. Really dug it. Atmosphere is a one because I would not want to be anywhere around dead bodies by myself like that. Because my mind would think, what if something like this happens? Runtime, definitely a one because it's under 7 minutes. And like I said, it tells us everything we need to know. It's like a fun little horror story. I don't feel like you can get much better with shorts like this. It's coming from my perspective. And effects, I'm giving a 1 too. Because like I said, I'm going to loop that in with the creature. The way she looked, the stuff coming out of her, it wasn't red, it was brown, and I loved that they kind of tied that back in to what he mentioned earlier in his little monologue, and so I appreciated that. So yeah, this one's a 5 for me. It was a treat. Yeah, this was a treat. I really, really enjoyed it in a weird way. Fiver. Little D, will go to you.
Okay.
What did you think of Smooched?
I also really enjoyed this one. I arguably enjoyed this one a lot more than my own short that I picked this
okay.
week.
That happens sometimes.
So we're going to go over and we're going to go story. That's going to be a big ol' 1. Creature is going to be a big ol' 1. Atmosphere, a big ol' 1. Our runtime, big old 1.
My gosh.
And the effects, a 1.
No
That's a 5
fucking way! I got a 5 from you. I'm excited.
Let's go.
Hell yeah! No, there's so much
Awesome.
to enjoy about this one for it being so simple, and I feel like that's kind of the key to these shorts that I'm starting to realize a little bit more. Is it being so simple like this, and just having this one little thing, and the effects on her are insane. Like the makeup, they had to have spent all day. Just getting her prepped.
Yeah.
Like, don't even worry about all, like, the setting. Just her alone. Like, the contacts were amazing. Her literally being still and him, like, fucking around with her mouth and everything and nothing moving at all.
Nothing moving. Yeah, he was, by the way, putting mascara on her. Like, that's probably the hardest task as far as makeup is concerned to put on.
I would be so scared, like, don't touch my eye.
The fact that he was doing that to her and she wasn't flinching or doing this kind of thing is impressive as well. Go ahead.
And, obviously him being a little bitch at the end, he'd be like, oh, no. I'm like, nah, dude,
I was just kidding.
She wants her kiss now, dude.
But, like, you were bringing up, like, it's like a Sleeping Beauty thing. Like, that's exactly what I was thinking the entire time. I'm like, he kissed life back into her.
Yeah, like that was her Prince Charming.
It's good. I mean, obviously, what happens in here is something we've seen a lot in horror movies, right? Like, oh my God, the thing opens back up and a dead body comes out. But I loved how it was done in this.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of charm to it, and even the guy, as much as I fucking hate him, he did a good job too. You know,
He
with
did, yeah.
delivering those lines. It's like you just putting yourself in her shoes. Like, what if you're the dead body and he's talking to you? Fuck no, man. Fuck no. I'm out.
Nasty. You're nasty.
But yeah, it's a big old 5 for me.
Yay! I'm excited. All right,
about
Big
you,
D.
Big
What'd you think? I'm excited to hear.
All right, so I told Holly about this short today because you know, like one of the things that really like she doesn't do scary movies with
Right.
me at all. But when we go to like haunted houses and shit, like the one thing that really freaks her out are mortuaries.
Okay. Oh,
Slabs for the same fear that you talked about, like you being in there and somebody sitting up. That's actually like a real thing that happens. Like,
fuck no.
but it's like a not like coming back to life, but
It's like a-
It's like a reflex.
nerve damage or a twitch or gas releasing something.
Yeah.
To where they move.
yeah.
And also there's some like levity to like this short when it comes to like real life because there are people who have been like arrested.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no doubt. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
for
no
that.
doubt.
Yeah, for non-consensual corpse stuff.
They're pumping, dude.
Yeah. Ugh. So Anna did one thing that no one has done with these short films to me.
Oh, no.
And I I watched this one last night, and that is the first time ever I have felt uneasy watching a short film.
Really?
Like just the tone of it, the subject matter,
Yeah.
everything. It made me feel so uneasy that I didn't watch any more shorts last night. I need to do something else.
Let's watch something funny.
Yeah. Which I'm stoked that happened because it never happens. But
Effective.
for me, the story for this, I love. It's this short feels like a kill out of a full movie. Like this dude is like he's like the sleazy friend that thinks he's so slick with these live girls to where he doesn't get any, and the only thing he can get is from these dead girls.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the story, how he does all the talking and everything. When he's like, you are the prettiest thing that's come through here. Usually I get like dismembered babies and old people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going down
Like,
the
I've
list.
seen them all. Yeah.
Yeah. Story gets a 1.
Ooh.
Creature. I loved how this girl looked a lot on the slab. When she gets up off the slab, it looks like a completely different person.
You think so?
Yeah, because on
Okay.
the slab she's like blue, like gray and blue. But it's also because she was kissed back to life.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
got more. Her blood was pumping, and
Right.
which I liked a lot. Creature, her contacts were phenomenal. She looked dead, disgusting. When she got out and she had the fucking mud. It wasn't embalming fluid,
No.
which was great because that shit's like baby blue.
Ew.
So Creature gets a 1 for me. Atmosphere. I love this 50s vibe we got. Everything was so clean.
Yeah.
Black and white tile. That radio. I liked when anything would happen with the corpse, the radio would kind of like die off or something.
Yeah.
Like
that
when
was
she
cool.
turned her head, like something changed in the radio and shit like that. 1 for me. Okay. Runtime, right over 6 minutes. And like I said, this is like an insert of a movie. It's a kill. It was fantastic. Gets a 1 for me. Effects. We brought it up already with this girl. How she looked, her contacts, the sound design in it as well, like with the radio cutting in and out. It was also very, other than the radio, there was no other noise in there too.
Yeah.
It was quiet, but once that radio cut, you knew the radio cut because it was silent. FX also gets a 1 from me.
We have our
Fivers.
third aggregate 5.
Yes, this short film blew me away.
That's
Because,
exciting.
and it started with how fucking uneasy I felt
Yeah.
the night before watching it. Like it made me not want to watch another one last night.
Yeah, it says a lot.
Yeah, so no, that was so fucking good.
Hell yeah.
And to your point, when it comes to like self-harm or whatever, I like that it didn't show that she if that were the case, but it also doesn't show if there was foul play. There was no bruising, there was no
Right.
broken bones. Like they don't know how she died, which I really liked. Like that was the mystery of it. Also think she'd live in the lake with the fishwife.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, good point.
Yeah.
They'd
So-
probably get along pretty well.
Yeah. So, Anna, what does that give us for a collective for tonight's episode?
Let's see.
Some really good shorts tonight.
Yeah,
it was.
bunch of solid shorts tonight.
Let's see.
4.25, 5, 3.25.
A 4.15 for the evening.
Nice.
Damn good.
Nice.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was fucking good. They just keep getting better.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They just keep getting better.
And now that we're like actively looking for shorts too, like the algorithm is like pushing so many shorts to me.
Oh yeah, they pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time
Yeah.
now.
So it's
Eventu-
like, okay, this is good. Makes it easy.
eventually, I'm gonna get to the point where I had not seen the ones you guys picked.
Yeah.
You know, because we're getting there, which is great. So
Yeah.
solid tales. Anna, real quick, how would you watch these in an anthology?
Honestly, probably the way we did.
Okay.
Because I feel like Closing Time was the least dreadful of the two. And then I feel like it goes up in dread for that. Like Closing Time, ignore it. Even with the creature in Ignore It. I feel like the dread is a little bit more with Kissed just because of the unease.
Yeah. Sure. Little D, what about you, man?
I'm gonna go Ignore It, Closing Time, and then Kissed.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same thing. That's how I would do it. I would watch something scary as fuck, then be let down by one. Just to want to turn it off and be like, I need to sit in the light for a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, solid fucking tales. Number 12 in the books. Little D, what do we got cooking over here on the Barrens Hideout in the near future?
Well, our big time together in Salem Horror Fest is coming up at the very end of this month into early May. So stoked for that. Anna's got some little teeny tiny mics for us.
Little baby
and-
Mikes.
Well, baby Mike's. This time in 1 month, exactly, I will be heading that way.
Doing
Yeah.
some witchy shit.
I can't wait. And
Mm-hmm. Not in the
besides
air. I'll be in a plane.
And besides that, this week you guys would have seen our Spawn episode, which I was extremely excited to talk about. And it was Anna's first watch, which made it even better.
Per usual.
And we have some other bangers coming up this month, too. And what we're ending the month on, I'm really stoked for as well. Because it's another movie that's not particularly horror, but it's adjacent. And just keep an eye out for that. And if you guys want to support us, go over on Patreon. It's $1 a month for that.
$1.
Bob.
And also on our audio platforms and on YouTube, make sure you guys are rating, liking, subscribing, and sharing. And just keep hitting play. Get those numbers up. Help us out. That gets us to be able to be more discovered.
We're also good background noise, so just put us on in the background if you're cleaning. Get us some plays.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
we'll make you laugh in between vacuuming.
We're all pretty easy on the eyes, too, I feel.
Oh yeah.
And
We're a handsome bunch.
and for those
Yeah.
of you who don't like intros, I'm sorry. We have intros.
We got outro now too, y'all. On video,
Outro.
on
Andy's-
video. Anyways. Anyway.
Innies and outies.
Innies and
Outies.
Our Audi loves intros and outros.
But Anna, what else have we got going on over here that we're doing together?
We're gonna be finishing up Yellow Jackets. Honestly, I'm kind of relieved a little bit just because
Me too.
I got a coworker into it and she like caught up super fast. I think we talked about this when we recorded, but she was talking about the new season. I was like, oh, you're like caught up, and then she was like you. She binged it super fast, and then now she's like, they're doing too much, and I'm like, I know, dude. It's just, I really hope that my opinion changes before the season's up, but I'm honestly just a little relieved at this point, sadly.
Yeah.
But it has been fun. We are going to have at least one guest, maybe two for that episode. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got going on over here.
And what do you got going on over at Gimme Back?
It's Anna April. This week was Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the OG with Angelina. And next week, the fellas are coming on. These fellas for Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It was a great discussion, even though someone didn't like it too much. So you'll have to just see who that is when the episode comes out.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Big D,
Nice.
what you got going on, dude?
So first things first, next week, you guys had heard us talk about Pizza Panic Party. And next week, we will have had the pleasure of talking to Heather and Mark, the couple that are behind Pizza Panic Party with Gorgasma. We'll have a full interview episode set up with them. It's going to be a blast. And I'm sure they're not going to like pepperoni and cheese pizza, too.
I'm going to ask them, damn it.
There
What are
you go.
your thoughts on pepperoni and cheese pizza?
They probably just want maggots.
And
just
hold
like
up,
clowns.
hold up your little mic when you ask them. What's
funny.
what's it? What is it? But over on the Flicks and Friends, we are in the middle of our AB season. The letter L had just come out, and that is for the really shitty 1978 animated Lord of the Rings. Yeah, not
Not good
good.
with you on that
But we had Wyatt from Cinema Trip Reviews on, and it was a ton of fun having him on to talk about that movie. So, other than that, they've said everything else we need to say. Lastly, send us your shorts. If you have short films, please email them to us because we would love to review them. We've had a few people reach out. We've already covered one of them, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But we've had people reaching out, and we want to see your short films.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, we might have you on to talk about them with us.
Yep.
Who knows? So it's going to be, please, Dustin, what is that email address that they can send it to?
It is the BHOpodcast@gmail.com.
.com.
Shoot your shot with us, y'all.
Yeah.
We're nice.
We're nice. I'm approachable.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, little D, what do we got to do to get out of here?
Just say thanks, and we'll see everybody on the fucking next one.
Later.
Fucking bye.